So I think this is already the 6th time that I'm trying to make this video because my brain doesn't work today. I don't know why. My brain just doesn't work. But I'm still trying. I got a question. And you say, hello Ascendor, could you please make a video about the feeling of inferiority and superiority? I feel something that I didn't figure out how to detach from yet. There are some people in my life that think they are objectively better than me and make me feel very bad about myself. My coping mechanism is that I start to feel morally superior to them because I'm not a superficial bitch. But that seems to only bring more suffering. There's separation. You see the world in these categories. Some people are inferior and others are superior. You see yourself as inferior in the presence of those people, so therefore you think that they are superior to you. It is actually something that is going on in your mind, not in the real world. So if they were actually actively trying to make you feel inferior, they would fail if you wouldn't have the belief in the first place that you are inferior. It just wouldn't cross your mind to even assume that they are right in thinking that you are inferior. Maybe it's because you still have this belief that you are this individual that sees the world in those categories. Some people are superior and inferior, and you think that you are morally superior to them, and you're not a superficial bitch, so you see things in categories. This is it's the first thing that I noticed when I was reading your comment. Some people are superficial, others are not so superficial, therefore in your world they are better because they're more authentic and not so superficial, and so you're deep, which is better than being superficial and inferiority, superiority, and then you cope by saying they just don't get it. They just don't have the same spiritual development that I have. But there's still like this separation which makes you feel like the world could potentially be a dangerous place. You don't see the family everywhere. You don't... because there's actually the possibility to see the world in this place, in this way, that we are one actually. It's just one family, it's one universe, it's just this one child, it's one God, it's this, and we're all this, and we are not judging each other. We are okay as we are. It's just this, seeing the world in this, in knowing that it consists of love. You cannot solve this problem unless you see that you have this belief, this way of seeing the world, that some people are inferior, others are superior. You have to change this belief. You are not inferior. And what does it even mean to be superficial? Ask yourself, because it's individual for every person. What is superficial for you? You didn't say what is superficial for you, but you judge them. You feel like they are judging you, but actually you're also judging them. So you're in a conflict, but this conflict is more in the mind rather than in reality. You think they are superficial. What does it mean to be superficial? Because when I was in school, I can tell you about this story a little bit. When I was in school, I was overweight. I thought other kids are superficial because they only care about their fitness, their skincare, how they dress, how they present themselves. And I didn't care about all those things at all. I only cared about deep stuff. I was very much into spirituality. I was very much into philosophical questions. What is reality? And I didn't care about this body and mind at all. So when those people went out of my life because school was over, I was still left with the same problems, but I just didn't notice them, or should I say I didn't want to notice them. there came a time when I tried to solve them actually, so I had to become what I once called superficial. I had to care about my body, I had to care about my skin, the way I dress. So what I once called superficial is now I call normal. So it was an inner conflict. I never really had a conflict with them. It really seemed like I had a conflict with those people because I judged them and I was jealous. But it was just inside of me. So maybe that's something that you can look at, this belief that they are superficial and you judge them and you're morally superior to them and they make you feel bad about yourself. It's all in you. It may sound harsh, but I want to lead you towards a way of being in which you are more connected to, a reality, a way of existence in which you are not seeing yourself as inferior, but you see yourself also not as superior, but just see that there's the same value in everything. And that becomes obvious when you are resting as your true being. Now, you didn't say anything about meditation, or I don't even know what you mean when you say that you are morally superior. I don't know if you meditate, I don't know if you have discovered your true self, but when you can actually rest in your beingness, then you will feel the essence of what you are, which is what some people call the all. And this all is the essence of everything that is, even the essence of what you call the bad, even the things you judge are a creation of what you are. So only if you come into peace with what you judge, with what you have a problem with, internally, externally, doesn't matter, it's both the same. Only if you come into peace with this is when you get this sense of satisfaction of everything's okay. Another way of getting there is by actually realizing who you are. And oftentimes it's possible, how should I say, oftentimes it's kind of difficult to rest in your beingness because it is so all-accepting. You don't want to identify yourself with something that is all-accepting because you have fallen in love with something that is judging this part of life. Rest in your being. Become comfortable with what you are, because you will learn, you will get used to accepting everything, even the parts that your ego says are bad. And then you will feel this harmony. You won't have the conflict inside of you. Therefore, you're gonna be able to see whatever's going on outside of you neutrally. You're not gonna take things personally. You will see, if you're gonna be in harmony, and when someone is actually trying to make you, they really have the intention to make you feel inferior, you're not gonna feel anything about it. You're actually gonna have empathy and see, you're actually gonna have empathy and see that it's their problem. So just look at that, look at what's going on inside of you and stop externalizing your own problems. And, projection is what I see a little bit. I see a little bit of projection, and I see a little bit of clinging to those beliefs that inferiority, superiority is a thing. It's not. Alright, and I think that's it. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe and leave a comment, and Have a great day.